Okay, so we'll get started there and we'll have a look at how we'll create our first event. So for that, we use our SciTiming software here. So we double click in there and that should open up for us. There we go. And when we open up, you don't have to worry about anything here. All you need to do is go to Connect. And when you go to Connect, it shows us here a list of the events that we have already run in the club. Don't worry about anything over here. Okay. So you can see there's our track to non-race 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they're in order of date. So that one was 25th of April and so on and so on. You can see that the non-races were linked as well. I had them linked as a non-race series. We'll worry about that later on. And then I have a few little enduro ones that I did here and practice ones. Now, what's important from your point of view, if you want to run an event, I have 3 templates here. I have an XC template, an enduro, and a downhill. So all you have to do then is make a copy of one of these, we'll say the XC one, and then modify it for your own use. So the first one we'll have a look at is an XC event. So I'm going to go into the template, I'm going to make a copy of it, and then I'm going to edit that copy. So I'll click into that guy. He opens up, it says XC template 14th of April 2003 up here. There's a whole load of stuff down here on the side, don't worry about that yet. We'll just go straight to Actions, and I'm going to go to Copy Event. It says, do I want to create a copy? I say yes. No, it's not going to copy any of the entries, right? It's just the event itself. So click OK, and that's done. So now you can see I have a new event here called XC template copy. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to edit the name of this, and I'm going to change the date. And then we'll start adding people into it and changing courses and all that sort of thing. So I'll click in there into the copy. I'll go straight over here on the left to modify event. I'll go straight into basic details and I'll change the name of it. I'm going to call it Wednesday night event. Wednesday XC race. And I'm going to change the date here. I'm going to update that. I'll just put it as today's date, 16th of the 6th. And I'm not putting this in as a series, just a standalone event. So I'll just click and watch it up here. Now this should change. So I click save, and sure enough, that's changed. If I go up here to come back out, keep clicking up and it goes back up the various steps. Click up again, it comes back out. And now you can see it's up here, Wednesday XC race, 16th of June. And I've left my XC template that can be used over and over and over again. So we never use the templates here that I've created, we just make a copy. So now I want to go in and I want to change all the settings inside in my Wednesday XC race. So I want to go in and edit this guy. So I'll go in here. We can see there's no entries, no finishers, nothing yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my courses. Now, when I click on that, it tells me I have one course called XC. So I might have an event where I might have 2 or 3 different courses. There might be one of the courses which is a 3-lap race, one might be a 4-lap race, one might be a 2-lap race. Now, it might all be doing the same lap, but just a different number of them. Or it could be going off in different directions, but starting and finishing in the same place. So I have a standard XC race here. And if I go in here to XC, it tells me there's a start and a finish time here, or start and finish beacon. This guy here, this number 102, okay? You don't have to worry too much about it, but I'll just explain briefly. That's telling me that the finish line beacon is beacon number 102. Now, you remember when we were doing our hardware, that's this guy here. So I'm telling that guy that he is beacon, it's number 102 is what I'm using as my finish guy here. You can see that, 102, okay? So that's all that's happening there, okay? Now, if I go into my lap section settings while I'm in here, okay? So I'll just go back briefly there for a second. So I went into courses. There's my XC course. I click on him and I go into lap section settings. And now I can say here, well, I want, if I'm using this course, it's 3 laps, 2 laps, 4 laps, or whatever. So I'm going to go back up there now for a second, and I'm going to rename this guy XC3. So I go back in there, I'll go to modify course, and it allows me to rename him, and I'm going to call it XC3 laps. Okay, and I'll click save. So now when I look at my courses, I can see I've one course called XC3 laps. Now I can assign different groups to that, I know, an under 14, under 16, or whatever you'll see later. So now if I want to do another course, we'll say in my event that might only be 2 laps of the same course. I want to make a copy of this guy. So I'll click in here to my 3 laps. I'll go to my actions up here, and I'll go copy course. Create a copy of this course, yes. And now I've XC3 laps copy, but I'm going to change this, and I'm going to use the exact same controls, start, finish, beacon, the whole lot, but I'm just going to make it 2 laps. So I go in there, and I'll go to modify course, same as I did a while ago, and I'm going to call it XC2 laps. But now I must change it, and what I'm doing here is naming it as 2 laps, but I must go in and tell it it's only 2 laps now. So I go to save. So now I'm on my 2 laps. I go back down to my lap section settings, and in here I'm going to go 2 laps. So now I'm telling it it's only 2 laps as the guys go around. You can have a minimum lap time, so if somebody goes faster than that, there's something wrong. You can set that if you like. You don't have to. I let it as 5 minutes because there wouldn't be any lap quicker than that, so that's fine. So I save. So now I have, if I go up, I now have 2 courses. Let's say I wanted 4 laps. We'll do it one more. I can copy either one of these. It doesn't really matter. I go to XC3 laps, and I'll go to actions, copy course. Do I want to copy the course? Yes. Now I have XC3 laps copy again. So I need to go into that guy and change it. So I click into him. I'll go to modify course. I'll call him 4 laps. Now that's just naming it, remember that? So I click save, and I must actually tell it to do 4 laps. So I'll go to, well, I'm in here, lap section settings, and I'm saying 4 laps. Save. And I go up. So now in my courses, I have 3 different courses that I can run in this event. I have a 2 lap course, a 3 lap course, and a 4 lap course. And depending on what classes I make then, let's say an under 14 or 16 or whatever, I can assign whichever course that I want. When you're actually starting the race, then you can put on the time individually for each one, or you can time them all together. So while I'm in here, I can say start time precedence. I can come over here, and I'll show you this again a little bit later. I can come in here, and I can say I want them all to start at exactly the same time. I want them to start at 7 o'clock. So I'll just put in 1900. So they will all start at 7 o'clock. I'll click save. This will apply to all of them. So I just click yes. So you can see the time. They all have to start now at 7 o'clock. Okay? So that's how you set your courses. And 5 minutes before a race, you can change this time again here, or even after the race has started. You know, if you start 5 minutes late, whatever, and they're all gone away off down the fire road, you can come back in here and you can change the time and it'll adjust it for you automatically. Okay? So that's how you set your course. And once you're happy you have enough courses set, you can click back up here and it brings you back to the main section here. And we'll now have a look at doing classes, which I'll just show you. Just make another video for that because I'm running out of time on my recording here.